Oh, I forgot. There's another one I gotta add. Jeez.
Andre Cruz, my God, he is the strongest person on the planet.
I know, it's so weird and it's so effortless. He just recovers so fast too. He's just doing that every day.
He's just picking up everything, just picking up, just slapping lats and.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Okay.
Eat, stop, eat. Okay. Great. Sure, let's start on the burp. Great.
Love it. Second sticks now.
Hello, Fitheads, and welcome to another duo episode of Total Fitheads.
Cheers!
Cheers. Marquis, still love them.
This is my weekly marquee. I just raided Allie's fridge.
Did you replenish that? They're going to be warm if you don't put another one back in.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you have racks and racks back there.
Yeah, you know.
Ridiculous.
I do what I can.
Is it Marquis?
Yeah, that's it. That's how you pronounce it.
Wait, this is yerba mate?
Just like a
yerba
quesadilla.
Quesadilla. Is this yerba mate? Mate?
Yeah. See, is that how you say it?
What is the right way to say it?
Caffeine.
Green coffee. What is green coffee?
Means it's not roasted, so it's the bean's still that color. Yeah, great. I didn't know that either. I've never, for as much as I care about what I put in my body, I never read that label, so turns out I don't. It's good though, right?
It is excellent.
No, well, shout out. They did sponsor me in the past, and I'm sure they would still appreciate me telling you all to try it. It's good stuff. 100 milligrams caffeine per serving.
How much is a cup of coffee? Like 80?
Okay, an espresso is maybe 70. A cup of coffee is between 1 and 200, depending upon if Starbucks makes it or my mom does. Actually, sometimes Starbucks is even higher, and cold brew is even higher than that.
Cold brew is the highest, I thought.
Yeah, because they expect the ice to melt. But then you say light ice so that you don't...
I used to say no ice, and they'd give me like...
Give me a coffee?
Well, I want the cold brew, but no ice, because I'd walk the dog, I'd walk to Starbucks, I'd get Brittany her, pumpkin, vanilla chai, latte, whatever. Then I'd get a cold brew with no ice, oat milk, because, like those plastic cups are trash. Like they're obviously trash, but they're not very good at keeping things cold.
Sure.
Ton of condensation. The little crappy ice, Starbucks ice, restaurant ice, melts so fast. So I'd bring it home, get one of my huge ice spheres.
You have an ice sphere maker.
Oh yeah.
Of course you do.
It's the greatest.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had one that made a beard shape.
I wish. I'll have to get someone with a 3D printer.
Funny you should say that, because I have two sitting here unopened.
Did you print, did the first one print the second one?
It's teaching itself. A planet full of 3D
There's
printers.
no hope for us. These things are taking over.
Holy crap, that's funny. Okay. Yeah, so let's do that. I'll make you a beard.
Great, thank you.
Nice thing.
Does it make like silicone?
It'll have to be something that is food safe. But I don't know about it being. Yeah, I don't know if it does flexible materials.
Squishy.
I clearly know a lot about it.
Yeah. The restaurant ice is like very tiny and cheap, because I think it's cheaper to make, but it melts a lot faster.
Huh.
Whereas one big, like those like really
Takes
nice
forever.
whiskey things.
Yeah.
They give you like would you like an ice block?
And it's perfectly clear.
So it takes longer to melt, because the surface area, it's just one big thing, and so more of it is in the middle being cold instead of a bunch of little.
Right.
Kind of like
the idea behind
our Arctic shell right now. Great, good stuff. So anyway, so I would bring my cold brew home and make it like a ice sphere coffee. It was way better.
That's awesome.
But it just seems like those, like the cold brew, like even you're driving with them, don't you feel like they put in the cup holder and you pick it up out of the cup holder and it's like a sopping like.
I haven't driven in years.
Right. Okay. Sorry. What about your bike cup holder?
Oh, yes. There's a cup holder on the side of my backpack. I feel like that's closest.
Did I ever tell you about my grandma? She used to ride her bike and she had a cup holder.
No.
She used to ride her bike around the community or whatever that she lived in, like a gated community. Is this recording?
Making sure that our audio is okay. Yeah, we're good.
Dun dun dun. She used to drive around like this gated community. She had like one of those not old timey, but like not a speed bike, like a
like cruiser
bike, yeah. And she had a cup holder and a basket in the front, and her cat would sit in the front of the basket and just be like,
living the dream.
and then she'd bike around and she'd have a cup holder and she'd like have like a solo cup because she didn't want to break or whatever. And I was like,
it's so open, not like a thermos.
No.
Jeez.
I was like, what do you got in there? She goes, vodka tonic.
Wow.
That was amazing. That was so funny.
Oh God, I'm gonna be that in 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Love it. Wait, well, how did we get on that?
Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yerba mate. Green beans.
Yerba mate. Man, I've been doing pre-workout in the mornings though.
Really? That's your morning?
Because I'm cutting. No, okay. I'll take pre-workout and I'll go for a walk. And so I feel as though I'm supercharging my fat burning because I'm doing it with pre-workout, not just coffee.
Uh-huh.
Mostly I just like how it tastes, and I'm an idiot, and I'm taking years off my life. Oh my God, I did a death calculator yesterday.
What?
I follow this Instagram account, which is fantastic, by the way, and it's called Yup, That Exists. And it just shows you things that you go, what? That exists? And one of them yesterday was a clock that you can tell it how much you weigh, when you were born, if you smoke, a few things, and then it just counts down to your projected death date.
Yikes. So what are we looking at?
Oh, between, like, in the 50s or 60s is when I'm gonna die.
Age.
No, sorry. 2058, between 2058 and 2068. Oh, so I did several death calculators, and they all give a very specific day, and down to the day. And then I sort of based a range on these websites that...
Right.
Oh, God. Anyway.
How worried are you that they give you a death date that they will then carry out just to maintain accuracy?
Yeah, just like when I got a lifetime subscription of Rolling Stone, and now I fear every day of my life they will come kill me. That's a true story, and they're still mailing them to my parents.
How'd you get a lifetime subscription?
It was $100. Here is the example. If you had a viewer guaranteed viewing your viewing your video, every video, would you not charge them a very small amount of money to guarantee they would view it?
Forever?
Because then you could sell ads on your videos for lots of views.
So they're just trying to get their...
They just want to have their subscriber rate up so that they can sell more expensive ads.
Clever.
It's brilliant. By the way, we should do that.
Shout out Rolling Stone for being so...
smart and not killing me. Now they're thinking about it. No, they
you got a
me.
death calculator.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I realize I'm going to die within the decade 2050 or 2060. But what one of them said is that drinking takes 8 years off your life, which is a very specific number of years, but also a very large number of years. I'm still willing to sacrifice 8 years for the joy of getting wasted with max no sleep.
8's a lot of years.
And one of them said, do you drink or not? It's just a checkbox. The other one was like, how many times a week?
Right.
Month. Year.
A glass of red
day.
wine with dinner versus 30 beers until I can't see. Yeah,
so what is 8, the average? Or if you just have a sip, then basically you get thrown in the pile
of drinkers.
8 years less.
Dead man drinkers.
Hence, I had to go get several opinions.
Right, because you didn't want to...
And then you
didn't want to change your behavior. You just wanted another...
Just ask another website. And then all these websites I'm going to are running crappy Google ads with horrible, clickable, confusing things to try and get you to...
I hate that.
Click on their stuff. Very spammy situation.
You know who else does that? A lot of newspapers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, yes.
Like there's website like Business
Forbes.com.
Insider. Forbes is terrible.
Terrible. I've been in Forbes 3 times and I'm embarrassed.
I clicked to Forbes website the other day, and I would say if you have the whole screen is 100%, the amount of screen that was actually the article,
relevant material,
15% maybe.
And then
it was
things
like,
are floating over top of it.
And yeah, exactly. And I'm like, hey Forbes, this is how I'll never go to your website ever again. Like,
yeah,
goodbye.
well, then what? The New York Times. I get to read one article, and then it tells me, not anymore.
Right,
You're done here.
It's like talking about not evolving with like the landscape of how people want to consume information or news or whatever.
Then what do?
Sell ads on their space, make their content free. You just have to watch an ad.
That's what you're talking about.
Not that is impinging on their content.
Oh, so yeah, I guess run an ad that doesn't piss you off.
That's a trick. That is marketing. What is an ad that doesn't piss you off?
Brought to you by Marquee. Anyway, I mean, I am proud of my ad reads. I rapped about Audible. I wrote a whole song rapping about how great it is to listen to audiobooks.
Is it?
Yeah, of course. I listened to one at my biking here. We just talked about it.
Audible gave me one. I think they gave me like 20 credits 15 years ago, and I'm
nice.
still like working my way through them.
What, do you not bike everywhere? And
I read a lot of them, but I think somehow maybe they like keep replenishing my credit. Maybe it's an unlimited amount of credits. I don't know. Audible, thank you so much. I love you. You're the best. I have
what
a
is
million
your conversion
credits.
rate that they like you that much?
I think that I just ran into somebody at a VidCon lounge, and he was like, "Oh, I own Audible. I'll just sign you up." And I'm like, "Okay, what's that?"
And then Chris Duffin doesn't get paid.
yeah, poor Chris.
Which is the book I'm on right now, by the way.
The Dragon and the...
Eagle and the Dragon?
Eagle and the Dragon.
Yes, Chris Duffin is a past Fitheads episode of ours.
And the Eagle and the Dragon, he has a giant eagle tattoo and a giant dragon tattoo.
He does.
So it's I gotta tell you, it makes for a pretty dynamite book cover.
Oh, it does.
Because
He's also
it's him, it's like Eagle, Dragon, or whatever, whatever it is.
Pecs.
Pecs, yeah.
Mm. Anyway, do you want to calculate your death, or would you rather not know? And are you going to stop?
Well, I mean, on what possible way could they predict that?
Well, it was weird to know that the average United States woman lives to 83. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, I just expected triple digits. Probably because I have so many videos on health and longevity.
Right.
But then it's like, oh, right. It's probably not going to be something remarkably long, especially because I do get wasted with max no sleeves often. And then to hear the 8-year thing, and then to think about 2050 is a decade, and it is rapidly coming at us.
A decade?
It is a decade that exists in the future.
Oh, I think
if we make it there.
Now, I'm like, is it 20?
Wait,
40? Did I miss a whole lot of Super Bowls?
That's what you go to?
I kind of feel like it's ignoring. I guess my mind is like, oh, you'll live to. Well, is one of the questions like how many streets do you cross?
Oh, yeah, the whole falling
like,
into a pit is Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Like how many buses are you planning on getting hit by? You know, that's what I sort of like.
Honestly, every time I get on my bike, 7.
Seriously. That was, I remember when I moved to LA, that was like one of the first things that ever happened to me. It was like I was in Santa Monica and I got out of my car and a bus drove past so fast it like hit my backpack and spun me around.
No.
And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, thanks. Welcome to LA, guys. Like it wouldn't even, not even a slow down, you know, just like it looked like he accelerated and tried to do it. But yeah, so I felt like a real not like near death. I wasn't like scarred, even though I'm still talking about it now.
Yeah, that's horrifying. I would not leave my house or wear a backpack again, obviously.
Yeah, that was my first mistake.
I'm picturing a lawn ornament that gets like
that's what I felt like. It was
one.
It wasn't a full rotation, but like it's I like slammed into my car for sure.
Yikes.
So anyway, I don't know. I hope, and I don't know. You know, cigarettes is a big one. I think people. That's a way to, 8 minutes. Isn't that right? A cigarette's 4 minutes.
But then you think about everything you're doing, and it's only shortening it, right? There's no, this is your life expectancy, and then it gets shorter based on the dumb stuff that you do. Mm-hmm. It's not, you work out, so it gets longer. No.
I would say that we do have something that we could do.
upload my brain into what?
Get better sleep.
Ah.
Wasn't that one of the ones that they said? They were like your life quality and expectancy goes up.
Hopefully up, but also then you're unconscious for it, so who cares?
Yeah, that's true.
And sober.
Look how great I am. What a blast I'm having.
Wait, what are we even talking about? Diets!
Diets. The point of today's episode was diets.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of dying.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Smooth transition.
What?
We've collectively done a lot of diets.
We've done a ton of
and
diets.
thrown them out.
Yeah.
So we did it stupid, so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of this podcast, you will know that you do not need to try a lot of the things that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have offerings on what you should try? Oh, you should try all the things we suggest too, because it might work for you. Everyone is an individual, and your biochemistry and genes and microbiome and activity level and sleep amount are all unique. So perhaps keto will work for you. Spoiler alert, keto
didn't... keto kind of works.
Oh, well, okay. Dive right in.
Okay. I did one, let's see. I'll go... My earliest one, which did not work very well, was I just didn't eat.
Me too. I wasn't a wrestler.
Call it the starvation.
Mine was pure aesthetics. Yours was for athletics.
Yeah, and I would say neither of it worked very well. How did you get over your hunger?
Oh, I didn't. I talked about this a lot. I was an a-hole. Just an absolute B. Like, this is me. This was
total
me.
see you next
Tuesday. I love how we bleep ourselves now on this show.
I know, what a D move.
Anyway, yeah, it was a D. I was just, I was miserable all the time and trying to get to the end of the day. I just wanted my day to be over. I was counting down to my own death date. And that's not a fun way to live.
No.
But I thought that was a better way to live than bigger.
Yeah.
Than taking up more space.
Yeah. I think it's similar. I guess I would say, if you in a more general way, or my ability to do that was peer pressure or fear of embarrassment of my peers, or
because they're all doing it too.
They're all doing it too, and in my mind I'm like, oh well, I have to lose this weight, and if I don't, I'll be so embarrassed. And I think that's probably kind of like what you're talking about. Like, I want to look. I'm guessing here. I want to look a certain way as a girl. Adolescent, teenage, high school.
All of that.
I want to look a certain way as a girl, and if I don't, I'll be so embarrassed or outside or whatever.
Yeah, and this was the 90s, 2000s, and you look back at music videos during those times, and there was everyone was a stick. That was in. Mm-hmm. You wanted to be runway model skinny, and I'm really glad that has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, still being skinny is in. How annoying. But this was illness level. You wanted to see shoulder bones. You wanted to look emaciated. What is it that I think I've talked about this on a previous podcast? Candy by Mandy Moore. That stands out to me.
One of the greatest songs of all time.
Obviously.
But music aside.
She just looked so tiny in that, and I thought that, that was normal. That's what everybody wanted to achieve. Every girl.
But she wasn't she like 15 when that song came out?
She was young.
I feel like sometimes people confuse like skinny with young.
Oh. Yeah. Well, whatever. Glorifying that age and that size is still
I feel like the big one was low-rise jeans.
What do you mean was?
Apparently it's out, depending on who you ask.
What?
I'm a big fan. I love
it. No, they're coming back, honestly. It's really sad because high-rise jeans are so back that Max thinks they're back, which means we have to go to something else. Now we're going to move on.
One revolution behind.
Yeah, so low-rise are coming back and wide leg pants and middle parts. I'm so uncool right now. What are we going to do?
I liked low-rise jeans.
Yeah,
because I was
enjoy seeing
skinny. And I
thongs in high school.
I enjoyed seeing the thong go like up over the side. Oddly, the string. They just yank out the strings like a couple of fucking suspenders or
I
whatever.
want to be as cool as Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. I just saw that and thought it was cool.
And that's what it was, and that's true. But anyway, I think that was a really tough thing for a lot of guys and girls. Was like, that's a pretty tough spot to.
Oh right, yeah, it's the
have on
least
display.
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's why there are several YouTube videos about losing your tire love handles or whatever.
Right.
We gotta
Tummy.
show off the
Stubborn tummy
the
fat.
worst area. Wait, so how did you get over the hunger?
It was embarrassment, and
Oh.
I would.
But you were still living with hunger, or would you chug water, eat
I
cotton
couldn't
balls,
chug a
that
lot
sort
of
thing?
water. What's the most messed up thing I would do is I would like eat and then or like swish. I would like swish around orange juice and then spit it out. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't it wasn't quite bulimia.
Yeah, right.
But I would like have a taste and then I just wouldn't swallow the food.
Dang.
The other thing I did was a lot of Jolly Ranchers or like hard candies.
So it lasted a while.
Lasted a long time. Because I would have I'd want to eat something. I'd be starving. My stomach would literally growling, and it would just feel terrible.
I look back on that kind of thing too, though, and just having not eating anything and then eating a Jolly Rancher, my levels, my blood glucose would just be like, and it's 25 calories, but your body's like probably not ready to process that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what I was doing to my blood sugar at that time.
No, that must have been crazy.
Ugh.
But yeah, I would go to bed early because I was hungry.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know. Plus the other thing, it was a little bit easier because I was in high school or college, so my day was so full of stuff that it was, I sit around and snack a lot. So moving around is a good way for me to sort of skip snacks. But unfortunately, I would skip full meals. It was just ridiculous. But that being said, I wasn't too crazy in high school, especially. I just ate sort of one meal, one portion, a slightly smaller version of that, and then I wouldn't ever have seconds or dessert or sodas or, you know what I mean? I just cut out a lot of the stuff that I probably should cut out anyway.
And so it was like all in one meal combined. You weren't trying to eat throughout the day to try and fight your hunger because
no, but that was in for a while.
Right. That's the next one I was going to talk about.
I think I heard about that on a celebrity fitness transformation.
Everyone talked about it.
And they were like, oh, the trick is you just eat a bunch of little meals during the day.
Fire up your metabolism.
Yeah, and I'm like, does it? Because I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Did it work for you or what happened?
No, I hated it. Then I tried the grazing thing to, still trying to keep the calories down. But it just made me more hungry, and now I know it's because my blood sugar was all over the place, and I wasn't even thinking about protein. I was eating things that I thought were high volume, but low calorie. So an apple, right? But what happens when you eat an apple by itself? Go find the video where I did that. Whatever. So
it keeps the doctor away.
Yeah. My mood was crap, and I was still hungry and still didn't work. But I was like, well, this is the only option. This is all that anyone was talking about.
Yeah, it was Blade Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds, and they both got shredded for the movie.
And it was grazing.
And it was one of those early ones, yeah, and then what they said was you eat a small meal 5 or 6 times a day. I don't remember what it was, but they just described it as a very small, clean meal. But it was one of the earliest ones I remember of me being like, oh, that's awesome! Like, they figured it out. Now I can just do that, and like, now I'll be in a superhero movie, It was just so silly how they sell you on that.
They're still
stuff.
doing it.
They're still doing it.
But now it's the exact opposite. It's me saying, you should intermittent fast. You look like a YouTuber.
So, intermittent fasting is the opposite of that? Or how is there a limit to how intermittent...
Yeah, so...
Like, is your one gigantic meal a day actually a good thing, or is that like a dumb thing?
I don't know. I haven't arrived on what my diet should be, but as per the title, I know what has failed. Wait, I had something in between. Oh, after grazing, this was my transition to intermittent fasting. Was I read Tim Ferriss's book, For Our Body, and so I started doing slow carb, which is his thing.
Which is?
You can have carbs, but specific ones. Like beans are fine. It's not low carb. It's not keto, but you shouldn't have ice cream. You know but you can have carbs like broccoli. Whereas even on a keto diet, if you have too much broccoli, you'll probably go over your carb amount. So I was doing that, and he also suggested skipping breakfast, and that was the first time that I was like, what? I don't have to miserably shove food down my throat when I'm not hungry?
Breakfast is still a crazy one to me, because that was when I was saying...
It's the most important meal of the day, sir.
Right, well, who told you that? Big breakfast
Big
industry.
Breakfast.
You know, that was a big game changer for me, is I stopped eating breakfast in high school, I think because I was always late for school. You know, I always think of those like sitcoms or movies or whatever where they like the guy comes down for work and she's got like pancakes and waffles and cereal and fruit and like cut up strawberries and like all this, you know, a carafe of orange juice and a carafe of milk and a full thing of coffee. And the guy's like, sorry, hon, can't stay for breakfast. And he grabs like a berry and he runs out the door. I just thought that was hilarious. Because if I'm that wife, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Sit down and eat this stupid breakfast that I made. But that was a big game changer for me. Was that it was like cutting out a meal, I think this is going to sound really stupid. If you want to lose weight, cut out a meal. Boom, done. There's your diet tip.
But what I've learned from wearing levels is that there are way more effective meals to cut out. If you cut out lunch, you're probably screwing yourself for insulin sensitivity. And you should extend a fast versus just eating less calories and keeping your glucose up throughout the day because you had breakfast and dinner.
But anyway, so I skipped breakfast, but that was also a nice one to know. Now I feel like people are more accepting of. It's not super healthy to have this short stack of pancakes first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Or cereal. I mean, you know, a cup of or a bowl of cow milk and a bowl full of honey nut or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I should go back to that. I kind of want to be more of a cow physique. That would be helpful wherever you eat.
You want some spots?
Some spots.
Who are we talking with? Somebody. I forget what it was, but he was like, yeah, I couldn't lift heavy, so I was doing sprints, and I just, you know, I look at horses, and they're so in shape, and I just want to look like a horse from the waist down. And then we had this, like, awkward pause, and I was like, hooves? And then, like, an hour later, I was like, no, I get it. I get it. It was, all right. Just so we all know. Who was that? It was so funny.
Was that a Patrick Frost thing? I
feel like it was.
Sprinting.
Yeah. Oh, because we were doing animal flow styles.
Oh, okay,
is that him or is that?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
We'll just incorrectly attribute it to him because that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love his Instagram's awesome.
Yeah.
He looks like a superhero.
He does.
For sure. We should just ask him when he's not eating.
Yeah, right. He's not eating. Yeah. Why are diets always taking stuff out? Not adding things in. What am I not eating? Yeah.
Brittany was saying the other day, we were like, we got salads and they were not as delicious as, you know, burgers and fries. Sure. They were more expensive and they were harder to get. You know?
That's
and
called
she's
a
like,
food desert.
She's like, why is it like that? And I'm like, ask it again. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know.
I've had this problem quite a while.
That's the world. That's the earth. You know. Why is it so great to do meth? I don't know. Like, you know, like you think that it's like if it's that easy, it would be like a trade off. Not that salads are meth. No, wait. Yeah.
But that's what I learned with Levels too, the removing thing. Because Levels has a Facebook group of power users, and someone had just joined, just started, and said, my blood sugar is really high. What do I eat to bring it down? And I'm like, oh no, that's not how this works. Ahaha! We only take things out. You should.
That's such a funny way of looking at it, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's because so much of what we've been fed on advertisements is get this thing to lose weight, eat this to make yourself thinner.
Right.
Because you can't make money on
removing,
right? Which is why fasting was so not a thing for so long, and now there's a fasting app that I'll probably be talking about on this channel soon that they've at least found a way to monetize nothing.
Yeah. What they should do, how would you monetize not eating? You should have like a streak on your phone.
Right.
And
you
it
get
should be
paid
public.
every time that you...
Or paid or public or something.
It's like a pool that you put money into, and then everybody that makes it, they split the money until X amount of time, and whoever's
pool.
left gets the most, yeah.
I like that. But are there any supplements that this is sort of a weird, like we're talking about diets that don't work. Are there any supplements that you need to take now that like for example, caffeine? I wouldn't call it part of your diet, but it quells your hunger a lot of times first thing in the morning, and it makes you sort of like just ready to focus, and it gives you energy even though your body might not have regular fuel energy, food energy. Bread energy.
Right. It's funny. It seems as though I fed you questions to ask me, because this is a perfect transition, but I swear we don't prep this.
We prep. We just talk about anything else. And then we're like, oh, no, wait. Hit record.
Hit record. Stop scrolling TikTok. I transitioned from Tim Ferriss's diet to the Bulletproof diet.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
That was a big supplement thing because I was using Bulletproof oil in my coffee and making Bulletproof coffee, so caffeine and a supplement.
What is Bulletproof oil?
It's MCT oil, but refined in a way that has, coconut oil that's refined in a way that has more MCT, so it's called MCT oil. Mm-hmm. And that just means medium chain triglycerides, which means that it gives you more ketones than traditional coconut oil. Mm-hmm. Anyway. That was a supplement that helped me go longer on my fast and transitioned me out of the slow carb thing to try and mess around with this going into ketosis thing. Mm-hmm. And that...
But that helped you, not have that, oh my god, I'm going to die, hunger feeling.
Well, I never had that in the mornings, that's why fasting was working for me, but then when I started having that coffee, I felt... I could go even longer and eat much later. So then I started doing the 16-8 thing. Instead of just skipping breakfast, I would pay attention to have a window of 16 hours where I don't finish dinner 16 hours later. Yeah.
You have an 8-hour window where you do, between your first and last meal.
Yeah.
12 to 8, let's call it.
Yeah.
And then after you don't eat until the following noon. Yeah.
Right.
And you like that? You didn't like that?
Yeah, I loved it because it was a seamless transition to make my fast longer. I think it would be helpful for a lot of people. Because I technically was consuming something. I was having butter and the MCT oil, but I would still count it as fasting because those two things are only fat and would not touch your glucose levels. And even the MCT oil helps you get further into ketosis faster, so... It's kind of like cheating and saying, I'm fasting, when you're really not, and you feel great.
And you don't have that, my stomach is going to eat the rest of my body feeling.
Or the grazing thing, where I was only thinking about food and so unfocused, it was just...
Yeah, that's hard.
Energy. I also sound like a Bulletproof ad right now, but it was that good for me.
I know.
And it also got me not scared of fat. We didn't even talk about the fact that I didn't eat any fat, because that was also a thing in the 90s, 2000s. No, stay skinny, and you know how to stay not fat is by not having fat.
Well, it was sort of like this weird overlap of I don't want to be fat, so I better not eat fats. But nobody knew what that
sugar,
was.
Supposedly, we've been told that.
Nobody knew what was what. That doesn't. And what is fat? Fat isn't a greasy burger, but you know what I mean? When people would say things like that, they would that's the fatty thing that would come up,
It's also brain food, and there's part of the reason why I was brain fogged and cranky and just not performing at the top, because I was not feeding my brain. It's much better now.
Yeah, it's doing awesome. No.
It's gooder.
It's way
time
much gooder.
For
super
thinking.
Good.
Anyway, it's nice as a woman to stop being afraid of fat. So thank you, Dave Asprey.
You know, I told you I got those Bulletproof. This is a little sidebar. I got those Bulletproof charcoal oil pills.
Yeah.
No, just the pills.
You took it the wrong time.
Yeah, I didn't
You texted me
do
the
it
next
right.
morning like, I'm taking charcoal now. I'm like, well, you better be drinking now because it's supposed to go with the
I don't
toxin.
understand what it does though.
It soaks up the toxin.
So then, do you not get drunk?
No. Do not
Because
think
that is
coconut
weird.
charcoal. I know, it's weird. It soaks up the bad stuff that makes you feel crappy, but it does not make you get any less drunk, any less fast.
But I also thought, so you take it before a drink?
I usually, personally, take it at the end of the night before I go to bed. But yes, you can take it before, you can take it after, you can take it when you're done drinking. I know someone who would take 3 with every drink. I think that's kind of psycho, and his insides are probably black. But he felt great the next day, I bet.
Just ash.
Yeah.
I heard that they got into some trouble, or not that they. I heard that there were some issues with people taking charcoal, activated charcoal, because it soaks up everything, including Advil, and including, I don't know, a birth control. And so people were getting all knocked up. Is that real?
That's the thing. Yeah, don't take it with medications.
God.
For sure. And so I usually take my vitamins at night, but nope, no vitamins on the night when I'm taking charcoal. Like, you have to make a decision, and I'm definitely going with the charcoal to feel better.
So you do it during drink or immediately after, and then the next day it's not going to do anything because you're not introducing anything new.
Right. That stuff's already in your body.
Right.
You're trying to suck it out before, and then sometimes you'll crap black, and it is the same stuff that they use to pump people's stomachs whenever they have alcohol poisoning. So.
Right. So.
But also, a carcinogen is just something. Okay. Not overall, not what a carcinogen is. I would say burned things are carcinogen, which is a cancer-causing agent in your body. Like burnt toast will get you closer to cancer than not burnt toast. But this
is that one of the questions on your life expectancy? How burnt do you like
do
your
you
toast?
smell burnt toast? You're having a stroke.
What color do you like your coffee and your toast? Oh, you're gonna die Monday. The end.
Anyway, so burnt things cause cancer. What are we putting in our bodies? This is ash, like you said. It's charcoal burned from coconuts. So is this? Am I taking more years off my life by trying to feel better tomorrow morning?
And would you make that trade?
Would I make that what?
Trade.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I guess I would sit through a hangover to last longer. Yeah, it depends. What do I have to do that day? Anyway.
We did that one the other day, and my hangover was hitting, and we were driving through a national park, and I thought I was going to just die. And I had to just sit in the car and not move. An air-conditioned car, and I was just like, yeah, this is it. This is the end. This is the end.
You couldn't appreciate the park. What a shame.
It was beautiful.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so the charcoal thing didn't really work, but shout out to Bulletproof for making an What is it supposed to be for?
It's for gas and bloating. So I also use it on cheat days when I don't drink, but if I'm eating stuff that is not usually in my diet, that is, I'm not used to eating and it is not healthy, I'll feel like crap the next day. I'll get a food hangover, but coconut charcoal will help with that.
Okay. All right.
He actually talks about it in his book about it related to foods and alcohol. So he suggests it for both. It's not specifically a hangover pill. It's oh yeah, did you want to go out to eat and you don't know what's in your food? ? Fine, you can get away with it once in a while.
Pop a couple of these
have these
boys.
pills, but we're labeling them as gas and bloating because that's
just in case.
the approved whatever. Yeah.
What kind of vitamins are you taking?
I don't know, just regular multivitamin. What a waste. I used to take omega-3s. I don't know if that's helping. That was helping or not. I tried tart cherry. Oh, I guess we talked about this in supplements. Yeah, do you take vitamins?
No. I started taking some fish oil pills because I hate fish. And I had a buddy of mine tell me about olive leaf extract as an immunity boost. And I was like, does that work? And he was like, I don't know, but I haven't got sick in 3 years. And I'm like, okay. Like, I have no idea what to say. I forget he was like, I forget if he had like a certain date on it, but he was like, I genuinely feel like I don't get sick when I take this pill. So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But I was wondering if you ever heard of it.
It's one guy too, sure. Maybe it's his body chemistry it works for.
Yeah, that's true.
That's rough.
That's a good point.
Okay, so Bulletproof. I appreciate the supplementing on that. I stopped needing it though. I think you knew that I don't drink Bulletproof coffee anymore, and I still fast for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my body still gets into ketosis. I don't check that often, but I can tell.
I saw those strips. She's got a lot of strips in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I
transitioned from the pee strips. I now use the blood strips.
Does this blood strip it?
No. How great would that be? It's going to be there in my Apple Watch, I'm sure, very soon when Apple buys everything. And shoves something in my,
Or what are the new spectacles? Bose? No, they're Facebook?
Snapchat Specs. What the heck? They just made those again?
It's not Snapchat though, is it?
No,
it Snapchat?
It's Instagram.
It's Instagram.
Reels.
No, is it
Ray-Ban Reels.
Ray-Ban, that's what it is. Glasses with a camera in it. Who'da thunk?
I can't believe they weaseled their way into our brains about this and got on our podcast.
I know.
I had Snapchat spectacles back.
I know, they were cool, sort of.
They were a lot of work. The fact that they shot in that.
The Google Glass ones were terrible. Do you remember those?
Did you have a glass?
No, but a friend of mine had a pair and I tried them on and it was just the dumbest. You looked so stupid. And it also, like, the payoff was so pathetic. It was just a very small square in your upper vision, and it was like analog, you know, like it wouldn't like the thing like a label pokes off of the table, and it's like this table's from IKEA, or you know, like this thing is 4 feet off the ground. It was
we'll get to that, right?
Like incoming message from Mom, you know what I mean? Like, it was so bad. I couldn't get over how dumb it was. And they were so expensive. And you had to get on a wait list to spend $2,000 on whatever it was.
Can
you know
I get
what I mean?
one now?
So
I need it from my prop closet. Oh my god.
You probably could just get a pair of glasses, just bust off the bottom half of one of the frame, and then you're done. They were so dumb. I couldn't believe it.
Google Glass, gimme. Oh man, the introductory price $1,500.
Still?
No, that's on Wikipedia. I don't think anybody's selling them.
Yeah, it was like 50. I thought it was 2,000.
Oh no, it's just giving me ads for Ray-Ban stories now. No!
No!
Why did I do
that? Like, we got her.
Yeah, I'm seeing them for sale about the same price now.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, fine, I'll just have to make my own. Oh, that's a video.
Just strap a camera to, duct tape a camera to your glasses. And then like a flashlight on the other side, like a pen light, you know what I mean? No, like, they'll never know, it's so subtle. That's what I love about these.
Hey Siri, take a picture.
Oh man.
Alright, have you ever taken supplements to be a part of your diet?
Well, I wondered about that because a lot of times I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't so hungry right now. Because I know that the hard thing is when you're trying to, like, if you go from, for example, when I used to go from eating my normal amount to having that or 3/4ing that or whatever, within health reasons, I was overeating before and I wanted to like rein it in. If you eat really lightly for a couple of days, or if you don't eat at all for a couple of days, your stomach actually does feel like it shrinks, or mine does feel like my stomach shrinks quite a bit.
No matter what.
And so, or like my how often and how hungry I am, how often and the amount of food that I want to eat will go down after a couple of days, but it's a couple of miserable days.
Well, see, is that your metabolism just slowing?
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'm still a bottomless pit, but maybe my cut is still working. I don't know.
You've said that a lot, and I can't exactly vouch for it. I've never seen you eat.
Well, I've Googled about shrinking your stomach too, and that's a myth that you can't actually make your stomach smaller.
That's what it feels like. My stomach is smaller. It's like the dumb jock way of putting, you know what I mean? But that's often how I would phrase it, like, oh, just get through those couple of days, and you won't need that much. And then it did feel like an actual thing. So my supplement there was Cigarettes, I would smoke cigarettes.
Nicotine's real. Dave Asprey talks about that too.
A lot of coffee and just like crappy stuff to quell my hunger, I guess.
Yeah, coffee's a tough one. Because then, you're having it later in the day, and then it messes with your sleep later. Yeah. But it makes a big difference.
Big time.
Will definitely hold off your hunger.
You ever taken caffeine pills?
No. Why? When you can enjoy delicious pre-workout. Why would I take that away from myself? Also, it comes in like powder form. That's so scary.
The powder one's horrifying. If it's pill form, that's one thing because you take a pill. But the powder one, it just comes in like a big pouch, like a protein pouch. A pouch, whatever you talking about.
You accidentally take it.
And I would take like a literal pinch, between my fingers and just like that and an 8-ounce glass of water, and it tasted terrible, and I was just off the wall, so crazy. And I can only imagine what like a spoonful.
Yeah, I've seen it at your house. I distinctly remember you showing me a spoonful and saying, "This is enough to kill you."
Yeah, it's terrible. I think it probably could, like it was so bad. It was so concentrated. I couldn't. It was one of those things where I'm like, I can't believe I ordered this on Amazon.
Yeah.
Or I can't believe I just bought
what
this
else is
for
in that
$10.
list?
I guess guns.
What feels illegal but isn't?
Nunchucks, a taser.
Taser.
You ever been tased?
No. We gotta do it.
I think it's a fitness outrage.
How is that a fitness video?
Outrageous video.
Oh, finish this 100 meters fast enough or you're getting tased.
No, you get tased, and then you work out for a month, and then we'll tase you again.
Work out for a month?
And then we'll say like, well, did she toughen up her skin enough to de-tase?
De-tase? What does that even?
I think it should just be a recurring thing that once a month I'll just tase you.
Good Lord. Anyway, you have been?
No, I haven't, but Brittany has one, and I know
I thought you say she has. Yeah, she gets tased.
Oh no, she tases me every Saturday night. I know that part of I think a lot of police training is you have to get tased before they give you a taser, which is the smartest thing I've ever heard in my life because it absolutely gives you respect.
Wow, we should do that for guns. You have to get shot before you were given a gun.
Yeah, but how are you gonna in the head?
No, just like the leg or something, like a graze, just like takes a chunk out of your thigh.
If they could do it, if they could do that safely, I would support that. But I'm not saying shoot people.
You gotta finish the whole pack before you can buy cigarettes.
Yeah. I never got that. Although I did. That does make sense, but
yeah,
you ever smoked too many cigarettes? Ugh, it's the worst.
No.
It's kind of like having too much caffeine.
Yeah,
it's really terrible.
It sounds awful. Man, I'm getting fed a bunch of, it's probably because I clicked on it, a bunch of YouTube videos about TikTokers taking too much caffeine in TikToks. 8 servings of pre-workout this kid did.
Come on.
Obviously, he ended up in the hospital. But then, I say this kid, but it's a bunch of people have done it because it keeps showing up on my timeline.
Hey, we don't need to be doing that. Don't take 8 servings of pre-workout. Don't even do it dry. I don't know why all these hardos are doing this dry scoop.
Because it supposedly gets in your system faster, which doesn't make sense because I feel like water would speed up the
that's wrong.
absorption.
Water would absolutely speed it up because you're swallowing it. You're not mainlining it. Like, what are you... It's ridiculous.
Ooh, IV?
IV is crazy. IV is a crazy...
You've IV'd caffeine?
No, but we're giving you a bunch of good video ideas.
I'm not kidding.
First we'll IV you caffeine, then I'll immediately tase you. We'll see which one hits faster.
Why are we using all of these in one video? The series is called Kill Spags.
Can she survive?
Okay. So, anyway, have you done keto? Because that's Bulletproof is.
I've done keto-ish. I've done sort of like as low carb as you can.
That's keto. What percentage of carbs or how many carbs a day?
It was before keto was a thing. Mm. It was like, just eat, cut out all the bread, but no one had a real name for it. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
So this was early on.
And it worked.
Did you invent keto?
But frankly, what I realized, and I think I've said this before, is that I had like no energy ever, and I had no regular walking around energy, and when I tried to do something athletic, I had no.
Well, how long were you doing it? It sounds like your body didn't learn how to burn fat for fuel.
I don't know. I guess a month maybe.
Okay, yeah. Well, at that point, you should have felt some sort of boost. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I had no strength. I had no power. I had no endurance, and I had no. I don't know. Get up and walk around energy. whatever that one's called.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess it kind of worked because the weight came off, and that's sort of what that's half of what I wanted to do, but athletically I didn't feel very, like, you know how sometimes, and I wish I could like nail down what circumstance it was, but certain times you feel lighter and faster and stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when I'm drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Like your third shot at tequila. That's pretty much where it is. But like sometimes I feel like heavy but strong. Sometimes I feel fast but weak.
Yeah.
And
okay.
But that's not exactly what you want. What you want is like lightness. You feel like you're sort of bouncy, and quick, and you have some power there too. I mean that's I think what you're
explosive like Andre Cruz.
Right. I'd like to be Andre Cruz.
Me too.
Where am I? Give me some golden retrievers.
For anybody who hasn't seen that episode, Andre Cruz came on Total Fitheads, and we both obsessed about his Instagram stuff.
Yeah, just go on his Instagram. It's insane.
Anyway, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, they do say that there are plenty of CrossFit ketoers and performance ketoers, and for sure long-distance runners, I think, would benefit from experimenting with being fat-burning versus carbs. But the high-performance explosive stuff that you are familiar with and that athleticism, they say it really does come from being fueled by carbs.
Really?
Yeah.
It sucks.
I mean, no, it doesn't suck at all.
It's whatever. It is what it is.
I still am fueled by fat, mostly for my workouts, but I feel like I would perform a lot better if I focused on and I told you this. I think I might start eating before I work out.
Whoa! No!
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Like eating food or dry scooping?
Dry scooping, eating.
Caffeine.
I eat the scoop too.
It's biodegradable. It's made out of corn.
But if you're doing not explosive,
what if you just, instead of a scoop, you just had a tortilla chip, and you're just like a scoops.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? That chip.
Scoops tortilla chips.
Scoops.
Yeah.
Frito? No, what is that one? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
Tostitos?
Tostitos.
You're the chip captain here.
Tostitos, $1 million idea. Start making spoons.
Good
stuff.
stuff.
So stupid.
Anyway, I have done high carb.
And?
It was...
What are you eating?
God. Well, I moved away from it because
bowls of rice?
I started watching my levels and realizing that high carb was cutting into my lifespan because I was spiking really high. But the time that I was doing high carb was the only time in my life where I gained muscle and lost fat. It was my lean gains period.
Brutal.
And a lot
That's brutal. That's exactly what you are.
Yeah, I know. And I stopped doing it because I was worried about my glucose spikes, but it really was, I was performing awesomely, and I didn't even know it at the time because I then got a DEXA scan and was like, whoa, this is working. But that's also the first time that I truly ate to an excess. Like, I would have a gainer shake after my workout, so that's 50 grams of carbs. And my glucose is going like this, but my body is like, cool, I'm gonna make that muscle. And I was having, gainer shakes, rice. I would eat a whole mango before I went to bed, and that was after I had 3 servings of pasta. It was 300 grams of carbs a day. Yikes. For me, as a small woman, is a very large amount.
Yeah, that's a ton for anybody, let alone especially you.
On paper, that is a formula for a small woman to get very fat, quickly. Very fat quickly, according to conventional knowledge. and that's the time that I had freaking lean gains. I should probably go back to that. Screw it!
So, the moral of the story is, you never know.
Yeah. Try it out for yourself.
Try out all this weird stuff that you wouldn't predict. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can predict it, but you can't at the same time.
Don't trust anyone saying that this is the answer, but also trust them enough to see if it works for you.
Yeah. And just trust us.
Yeah, obviously. Also, commit to it for a decent amount of time, too. I think that part of that is the problem.
What's a decent amount of time? 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks.
Think about what longer than you think would be, and then double that. I feel like I'm talking to the average person there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would give it more than a month, but I don't know. I mean, if you're feeling super crappy, then that's clearly an indicator. Or not, because the keto flu is real. When you get into ketosis and you have terrible breath and you feel awful, I don't know.
Does it go away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then your body learns. So the keto flu is basically your body learning to be metabolically flexible, which means going from burning carbs to burning fat. And it doesn't know that if all you've done is kept it fed throughout your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you feel like crap. It feels like a flu, and you have to teach your body to switch into fat burning mode and get over that flu. And the more you do it, the more flexible you become, the less crappy you feel. The more you can use fat as fuel at the end of your.
It's hard though, because it's
run.
like so much of the stuff that I sort of come at, or like where I start my perspective on is like, if something hurts, that means my body's like, don't do that.
Right.
And so it's
exactly
sort of a delicate balance of like, listen to your body, because your body was telling you to do stuff or not do stuff, or give me more of this or less of that or whatever.
Nope.
And then the opposite is like, no. Bully your body into completely changing its physiology or whatever.
Yeah, I think I need more of a dose of what you have, because I have lived my life. Even if we talk about massage, I'm like, if this massage feels good, it's clearly worthless. I even want a enjoyable spa day to be painful. So yeah, I think that I've taken it too far in that direction, where I want things to be hard to feel like it's doing anything.
Yeah.
There's some sort of balance, like you said.
I think I'm probably on the other end, but I think, yeah, there's actually a better balance in there. I'm coming at it from the point of like, if I have a cut, my body sends me pain, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I should.
Yeah. And I'm coming at it from the point that squats hurt, do more of them.
Right.
So where are you now? What is your diet?
My diet is absolute trash.
So you're a raccoon.
Yeah, a panda. One thing that I was doing was, I did buy a lot of those pre-made meals. They were okay. Mm-hmm. And when I strung enough of them together, I know I talk about that a lot, but when I strung enough of them together, I noticed a little bit of my body changing. Now, I would have to throw on a bunch of spinach on top of it, and sort of if I had like some extra chicken or whatever, I had to like beef them up a little bit, because they were just like too small, and I was hungry and I wasn't satiated. So you needed
more volume.
I just needed more, I don't know, something. They're sort of cookie cutter meals, you know. I know this sounds stupid, but I never know if they're made for like 100-pound guy or a 200-pound girl. They don't say? What service are you using? I've used a couple, and I don't really like any of them, unfortunately. The last one I did was Trifecta, and I liked it the most, but I was also heating them up in a frying pan versus a microwave, which I think makes a huge difference. Another, I forget which one it was, I think it was Eatly or Freshly or something. You know, it's like eat.ly or something like that.
Sure.
Not only was it didn't taste very good, but like I was having terrible stomach stuff, you know. Yeah,
you just got to get through it. I'm just kidding.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, what am I getting through? Am I losing weight because I'm like diarrheaing like all the time? You know what I mean? Like, that's not exactly how I was envisioning it.
Right.
So I don't know. The Trifecta is the one that has worked out the best. But that being said, they're not great, and I don't like them, and I don't really feel like spending $15 on a pre-made meal.
Oh man, I don't care. I will throw money at my health and saving time.
Time,
That's
yes.
the only place that I will.
Health is just so. But I'm like, what am I doing? It's not even. I'm still spending time on this to prepare it. You know what I mean? I'm not saving all that much time. I'm definitely not saving any money, and I could save a ton of money, but it would be a lot more time. You know, it is a balance. What I liked was I get stuck in that. I don't know. That's not a really good option. That's not a really good option either. Oh, I'll just figure it out.
Corn dog.
And then, oops, it's lunchtime, you know, and I'm screwed, and you know, so that's sort of where it's at now. Also, I've been traveling and going to like weddings and stuff like that. And it's been a mess. I was at home.
Your diet is open bars.
My diet is cake and open bar. Yeah. I was at home and I was at my parents' house and I came home. Classically, I would come home drunk and I opened the fridge and it was like, you know, Heaven Angels music. You know, it's like a full casserole or like a lasagna or like 2 pieces of pizza from my favorite pizza place growing up, or like a sub, or like, you know what I mean, like all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, you know. It was pretty wild.
You gotta enjoy that while you got it.
Yeah, just like bags and bags of cookies, and I'm like, who are these bags for? There's only 4 people here, you know, like this is
we do need to do that cheat day episode.
I know.
Well, my current diet is now carb cycling.
Okay.
Because I saw how dangerous my spikes were, and so now I'm trying to experiment with still using the carbs for performance, but then keeping my glucose lower, especially on days when I don't work out. So when I'm not working out, I'm low carb, and when I am working out, I do higher carbs. But it's still never near the 300 grams that worked.
So what numbers are we talking then?
Now it's more like on a workout day 170, which
carbs
would be 170 carbs, which would be like a low carb day for me back in the day when I was performing well, you know. But now a low carb day, an actual low carb day is like 40 grams, maybe 80. It's hard because I'll have 4 servings of broccoli, and that's like used all your carbs up.
Yeah, on broccoli.
On fiber. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I
was eating bison burgers in Wyoming. Oh my God, those are so good. Couldn't believe it.
They're fattier though than you expect, right? Yeah. Good.
But it's still ground, and there's like it's fried. Like if I get like a steak or a piece of huge fat on the side of a steak, that's really gross to me. I don't think that's tasty.
You want it marbled in there, like the cow just laid around its whole life.
I don't even like. I don't like fat in my steaks. I like a fillet, or like the leanest.
Are they?
Yeah, I think that's way better.
Fillet. Oh, noted. I didn't know that. I should learn more about the parts of the cow.
The fillet.
I know that white meat is way better than dark meat. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're both delicious.
Incorrect.
I think dark tastes way better.
What the?
Way better.
Fine.
Scientifically, it tastes better.
We know how we're splitting up the bird at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I get the stuffing and you get the...
The bag that held the stuffing.
You can have the broccoli, I'll take the stuffing.
Anyway, I'll let you know how carb cycling is going.
Good. So how long
are
you trying this for?
On Thursday. It's been a while, honestly, that I've been doing it. It's been, it's been 3 months since I did my cutting, too. So, carb cycling and cutting at the same time. Who knows? Yikes. So many variables.
Yikes.
Do I look more cut?
Sure. Every day.
Oh, thank you. Suffering. It's not bad.
I feel like I look great. All right.
So let us know in the comments.
What are you guys
tried
doing?
Any of these? What works for you? What doesn't? What we should try? There's gotta be a lot more out there.
Yeah.
That we haven't done. Maybe carb cycling is terrible.
I'm surprised you haven't done carnivore.
I know. Oh, that is definitely
a good idea, and honestly, like a good video. So you now have 4 really good video ideas.
It's not a good video. It's a great video. It's a hard video to make because it's a video that takes 30 days.
And it's boring to watch because it's like, here's me eating
with
bacon, you know, whatever.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I definitely need to do that. And vegetarian. We've been saying that for a while. Or vegan.
Maybe I should do vegan and you should do carnivore, and then we'll switch.
Yep. Perfect. Why is that so funny?
And then you just like, it's like no meat, and then
Completely
floor it,
slog.
like only meat. That's when your body would be like, okay, we're good,
Be
we're
cool.
good. I'm out of here, you know.
Honestly, I think that's a great way to wrap this up, because that is a testament to how resilient our bodies are. Whatever you give it, it just figures it out. Oh, we're just having several meals throughout the day. Got it. I'm going to eat that.
Yeah,
And
I'm not
then-
going to be happy about it, but I'll do it.
You'll survive, and your body will adapt, and then you'll stop losing weight. Oh, it's all meat now? Fine. I'm
Fine.
gonna live. Oh, you're a vegan for 10 years? Fine. You're also going to survive.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the reason why there's so many diets out there, because our bodies will just take whatever's coming at them and keep going.
Yeah, it's very impressive, sort of.
Sort of. Alright.
But you should like this podcast.
Oh,
and,
yeah, we didn't do
give
that
us
thing.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts
Yes.
and write a review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out
Both of
quite a bit.
those. It helps it helps you out, because you're a fithead, you're a part of this community, and so go help yourself by rating and reviewing this podcast.